Hello there and welcome to the Auto Match Heavyweight Championship of the World. And this isn't going to be Auto Match, this is going to be a custom game between two fantastic players. This is brought to you by SturmtigerGadafi, who is funding a best of 5 between two said players. That's happening live as we speak. I just subbed to him on Twitch and asked him politely if I could cast this for you, my beloved YouTube audience. And SturmtigerGadafi said yes. And here we are, we're loading in. And I haven't cast for the last 2 months. Why is that? Well, IRL, of course. It's been Christmas. I've got a busy job. I've got a lot of etceteras going on. And also, I couldn't be bothered to do any casting because the World Championships was so damn good, everything else would feel like an anticlimax. And now, Kimbo, let's introduce him. He's playing as the Soviets. His GMCT could be used, as could his airborne, as could his urban defense tactics with that M42. There it is indeed, possibly with a little bit of KV2 in the distance. 4, starting in the north as the OKW, already locking in Luftwaffe. It is the captain of chaos, the chief purveyor of calamity, and the creator of utter catastrophe. It is VonIvan. So a little bit of Poland versus USA, circa Russia, in this battle. And this should be a good one. I often find with these fan-funded kind of showdowns that the first game is often the barnstormer and the rest kind of peter out, because obviously, you know, the players throw a lot of themselves in it, and they do have the justification from a competitive standpoint. But after that first game pretty much tells you so much of what's going to happen. Now, interesting battles always with Kimbo in the early game. Now, we'll talk you through this. This combat engineer is most likely going to go either left or right and then use the surrounding features to kind of spot for things. So let's just watch him. See that? Notices danger. Uses this feature here. I'm just interested. He might just cap this. He's thinking of it. Kimbo honestly is a very high IQ player. Top 5 in CoH2 history for my money in terms of tactics. And what's he averted there? He's averted the ambush from the bushes with the Sturm Pioneers. Notice the penal battalion's now in position. So this may turn on VonIvan. And this is why Kimbo wins games. He's tactically through the roof. He may have been not everybody's cup of tea in the last 2 or 3 years. But for purists of excellent micro, Kimbo is a joy to watch, and you cannot deny it. M3 is out. Nice little handbrake turn upon seeing the CoH2 Grenadiers come on the field. This could be VonIvan with a few early soldier losses. Team Battalion caps and closes the gap. M3 doing damage versus the CoH2 Grenadiers in the building. Sturm Pioneers lay down the med kits. Notice with the Kubelwagen he was able to cap Kimbo's fuel. A little bit rusty, of course, with the casting, not having done it in 2 months, so sometimes I may get the players wrong. That was that hesitation there. Nice decap there. He did get it eventually, but he is losing Soldaten. 2nd Penal Battalion joins the 2 combat engineers on the field. Now. CoH2 Grenadiers bridge the gap and lose 2 soldiers for their troubles. Look at that KD, 8-3, and the flamethrower pops in perfect timing. Everything's low on health, and now you've got to be worrying about this cutoff. This is, of course, Crossroads Winter. I assume most of you have seen it, the hardcore kind of viewers that play a lot of Auto Match themselves. But for those that haven't, this is how the cutoff system works. It is these T sections, or L sections in some cases, and yeah, it is slightly different. I mean, Kubelwagen may be capping this point here, but it's not going to matter as the M3 devilishly caps over here. Of course, there is a balance patch on the way. Looking pretty exciting, mostly due to, of course, the Brits getting buffed and heavy tanks being nerfed in terms of their timing on the battlefield and what it means to kill one. CoH2 Grenadiers, Sturm Pioneers pushing in. Notice the Sturm Pioneers use the CoH2 Grenadiers as a blocking battalion, as bodyguards basically. always lead with your more fleshy, less valuable squads. Little tip for you. Faust can't be initiated yet because this truck has not deployed. Just saw an incendiary grenade go in on that penal battalion. Further damage done there. The Sherman looking something like something from what was that zombie game on PlayStation 1 where fungus grows out the back of you after you die? Fantastic game. The Last of Us, that's it. Looking like something from The Last of Us. Zombie Sherman. Stone Pioneers again low on health. No kills on those bad boys. And that's just how VonIvan rolls. And it may actually play into his hands. Nice find there. Kublai doing a lot of damage. However, the M3's found the Kubel. It was a little bit of a trap from Kimbo. Just leaving the bait out there. And Kubel might bite the dust now. Needs to get into that road. See the bonus speed kick in. Never saw it. And the M3 claims the kill. VonIvan's army all of a sudden looking low. We do, of course, have the 3 penals now on the field. Doing a lot of damage. Got Veteran C1. We could use overdrive should he need to thrust in there. MRH down for Von. Meanwhile, nice mine being planted there. VonIvan, we didn't catch it in time, but that is right on the edge of the territory sector, just outside of the vision, but it's pretty obvious to see that it's being capped if you look closely enough to like what's happening with that combat engineer's ankle. That is a Soviet mine. Folks Grenadiers hug the cover though, they should be okay. Ah, no, they're going to try and punish this combat engineer first and foremost. Stop it getting that fuel, or double fuel for Kimbo, as it would have been. Mine detonated there. Further showing terrible KD as usual for VonIvan. Might not matter though, because we know that's not where VonIvan's strengths lie. Sturm Pioneers in all kind of trouble. They pop Minesweeper in the heat of combat. Not the best pop I've ever seen. We're doing further damage. We've got 4 kills on the vehicle. 2 on the combat engineer. They're in. Burn, baby, burn. Mobile Inferno. Could be a squad wipe. He's body blocking. He's looking for it. Penal plans for the SVTs help out. Ow, that first grid is very lucky to live. But ultimately dies. I spoke too soon, of course. First squad wipe. And I'm starting to think, why did I choose this game to cast? But I have faith. And what we're now asking is, do you have faith in the almighty Von? You've got to. Von fans have learned that it is a very painful existence to be a fan of the American. For he cares not for individual squads or half of his army. He's all about vehicle micro. And to be honest, he's the best in the business. He's also the best at the all-in push. So VonIvan is very much like... how can you describe him exactly? Is he a glass cannon because he's fragile up until the point he can vaporize you in a single punch? Or is he like the Zerg in that he takes a while to grow, and then when he hits critical mass he's unstoppable? But in the early game he's quite vulnerable due to his shoddy infantry preservation. There's many analogies, but please feel free to put your own VonIvan analogy in the comments section below. Also, hit that bell! Don't, please. You really don't want a notification on your phone when I upload a video, but please do subscribe. I do get a lot of EPing from seeing my subscriber count grow by literally tens per year. M3 in trouble. Could overdrive out there should it require, and there it is. There you go! Survives, goes behind the building, hits the halt order, then punishes the Sturm Pioneer. One more. The 2mm shot goes in. T-70 on the field, the plucky little pyramid. Built, of course, by aliens. Faust will protect the Panzer II. Penal battalions do a little 180 there and cause the Folks Grenadier to cower in the emplacement. I don't call them emplacements, do I? Well, garrison, that's it. My co-lexicon is at an all-time low, having not cast for the last 2 months, but I'm sure it'll return in time. Get that 2020 AE casting hype and you guys watching hype. You have to have a little bit of an ego if you're doing this thing. Puma's on the way. Can he get damage off on the T70 and, you know, finish it off with a Puma? That's what I'll be thinking. Oh, first grenadier low. Going over a mine, it might not matter. Gets the kill with a astounding accuracy there. Second squad wipe now for VonIvan. Fortunately for Von, it doesn't look like he'll be able to get the T70 immediately. Oh no, first grenadiers are going to be brave. Oh, they do a little bit of a dive. In and out. That was a nice little bit of micro from Von. He gets the Faust, loses the squad. He really needs to make that work. Let's go on a journey here. Puma, we need you. Look at that battlefield. We've got the M3 coming in this side. Puma might target that. Don't forget though, the T70 is low. And Kimbo's not microed it in time. Luke's goes in for the M3. Puma gets a nice juicy shot. A lot of damage on the combat engineer squad, losing 3 engineers. Killing blows needed. One more main gun destroyed. And we've got the M42, 45 mil. And indeed, the T70 goes down. Will a Puma escape with its life? 45 mil firing. The Luke's has now gone in for the AT gun. This is a great push by VonIvan. He's kept the AT gun busy. May even decrew it, allowing the Puma to escape, having claimed its bounty. Second one on the field though. Decrews the first. Suffers another shot. Of course, this line of sight. Oh, misses with the follow-up. Looks like the Lukes will escape. We don't have the Automatron engineers. We do have the Sturm Pioneers. Needs to get them back to base, and that's for certain. Meanwhile, Kimbo has been capping the map. Foch currently is being built to add to his amount. We've got another guy here with the STG-44s, of course. SturmtigerGadafi blazing in the west, as they are in the east. M42s on a control group for Kimbo. These things can be absolutely devastating. And I don't say that with any of my usual irony. They simply absolutely can be. 2 of them pounding on you, especially with attained rate of fire from their veterancy. It can absolutely obliterate nearly pretty much every tank in the game, really. Even the big heavies. If you leave them there long enough, the M42s will get them. T70 rebuilding. Kimbo's confident in his light tank micro, it seems. Puma's nearly repaired. Doesn't want to spend any. Oh, he has spent them. 15 fuel spent on the repair Pioneers. Meaning the Sturm Pioneers can carry on capping. Got a little bit confused there for a moment. You'll have to forgive me. Nice bit of veterancy here. This will mean that this T70 can get repaired much more quickly indeed. Valiant Assault was recently used by Von. You have to think that's why he's won this engagement over here. T70's got something to say about that. They're still in build mode. This first shot will be damaging. Indeed it was. Now we've got a horrible retreat. Nothing there except the Puma coming to the rescue, saving that squad's life easily. Second MG34 out. VonIvan's trying to make up for his lack of infantry micro and preservation with using MGs. This is how he won 2 majors in ESL NA back in 2016. 4 years ago. Yes, we are increasingly old. That's right, CoH2 fans. Panzer II comes into the sad. 15 kills, readdresses the KD balance considerably. Doesn't quite get him to Kimbo levels, but gets him close. And that's all he needs. Panzer headquarters truck is now on the field. Let's see where he goes for. Probably, mind you might want to go for this side to protect this fuel. That's what I'd be thinking. That's what I'd be thinking. But muscle memory is making him go to the west. Possibly needs to readdress there. Destroys the mine. Suffers an M42 shot. Gives it veterancy 1. Coach Grenadier suffering a lot of health damage. A lot of damage in general now. MG34 pushed off on the west. Eastern side of the map. Meanwhile, Satchel, Von, see it! Very late, but indeed he does. Well, not that late, actually. Just in time, really. Trading blows there. T70 given cause for concern. And now it's Kimbo's time to feel the pressure. Because Von's in this game, baby. He's got 2 victory points right now. He's got his own fuel. He's putting pressure down on Kimbo on multiple fronts. Kimbo. Shock troops coming on the field. I had the pleasure of watching Kimbo play on auto match earlier on today, using this commander a lot. The shock troops were the MVP unit for him in those games, but he is up against a different animal now. That was just standard auto match fare. This is, of course, a paid competitive bout. There you go. There's that muscle memory. Schwerpanzer headquarters guarding the standard territory points, because it probably should have been on the eastern side of the map, let's face it. Here's some nice Stuka smoke reconnaissance for you. I think it is, isn't it? Yes, it is indeed. Of course it is. Should have more faith in my ability to remember abilities. The ability. Much like a Brit commander. T70. That's a little foray into battle. This is the second T70 of its name. Oh! Puma hit twice from afar there, giving the T70 the ability to now just sit there and wail on that Sturm Pioneer squad. Western side Panzer II could push in for a little flankerino. Puma's coming for another shot. He's going to converge, perhaps. He might go for it. The M42 holds firm. It was not very well timed for VonIvan. You can see what he was thinking of there. Couldn't quite pull it off. Just like a teenager in a bra. I mean, a teenage boy fumbling for a bra. You know what I mean. The analogy makes sense if I elaborate. It does not if I just leave it at that. M42's both with veterancy 1 now. Ambush tactics. Represent through the house there, it seems. Or was that a T70? Could be a very dead Panzer II if he's not careful. Ouch! Yes, it is! Wombo combo from the M42. Fallschirmjäger's come onto the field. Great by Kimbo there. Great use of the abilities. Fallschirmjäger's suffering hell of a lot of damage there. That's really poor effort from Von. And a nice nade from the shock troops. Oh god, that was like the landing on Crete. It was flashy, but the fatality rate was through the roof. But unlike that, it was actually unsuccessful. Oh, double mines! Puma! Under pressure! Feels the burn! Careers into bushes. VonIvan all of a sudden left with little to nothing. Satchel charge goes off. Destroys the MG34. Nice stun grenade. Well, stun grenades do nothing. VonIvan's rebuilding. He's valiantly assaulting his foe. But he's losing left, right and centre. And look at that KD swing wildly against him. Look at the army value graphs as VonIvan stocks dive. And Kimbo's rise, much like face mask producers in China right now. Stocks are through the roof. There's that repair time speed of the Vet 2 engineers. Shock troops with a nifty 4 kills there. Pretty much all Fallschirmjägers. Elite troops by ass. Engagement in the east. 2-man penal battalions could get pinged. No, they're not going to now. It's suppressed. They'll be fine. What a nice bit of traversal from that MG34. And of course the SVT. Oh no, they don't have the CoH2 effect. CoH2 of course can continue veterancy. Continue suppression rather. That's what I meant to say. SVTs seemingly can't. Stun grenade. Satchel, my bad. STGs continue the hurt. Narrowly escapes, but here comes the T70 to finish it off, and that's got to be game, ladies and gentlemen. Very surprised if VonIvan continues here, because Kimbo's giving him a good mauling, and there's only 3 squads left now, and one of them's currently being harassed and mauled, quite frankly. Oh, don't know why my camera went there. That's rust for you. We're now looking at these bushes. Well done, Matt. Good work on the old camera angle. T70 with its 6 kills now going to cause pain for its own pleasure. Cause that MG34 to reconsider its position. Meanwhile, Sturm Pioneers doing some good damage versus the Penal Battalion. I do not think that Kimbo's lost a single squad. I am going to confirm that. Well, he's lost vehicles, but he's lost no infantry squads as such. Stuka smokes reconnaissance used. Oh, attack grounds through it. May get the finishing blow here. Needs it. Misses it. One more perhaps. Oh, attack ground misses. That was unfortunate for Kimbo. Vet 3 T70 is going to be a devastating feature. Panzer IV was the last throw of the dice for VonIvan. There he is. And 42's going to go to town. MG34 is just giving reconnaissance for the... Oh, God! Ouch! However, he gets through it. He gets through it indeed. Putting pressure on the T70. Main gun destroyed. Could finish it off. The Fallschirmjägers also land to further cause hurt and disfigurement. Needs to prioritise vehicle perhaps. Goes for the M42s. Could do a lot of damage to them. It would be excellent to take them. This Volksgrenadier is currently in retreat, so it'll be a difficult task. The Fallschirmjägers are helping out in that regard. T70 makes it into base. You got a lot of fuel, his Kimbo. Just needs the manpower now to build something big. One M42's down. Second, nearly. It would be crazy, this comeback from VonIvan, if he could make it happen. If, being a very big if indeed. Oh, nice versus the Penal Battalion. Their first near squad wipe of the game for VonIvan. Needs this Volksgrenadier to come and get that M42, in my opinion. It's a good little AT gun to have, for certain. Kimbo's certainly thinking of the KV2 now. Initial plink shots all day from the Panzer IV. Smoke grenade lob there. VonIvan somehow able to hold a good amount of territory sets. Still. Volksgrenadier is rebuilding. And 42 was indeed taken. Could do with repairing it if he has the chance. Sturm Pioneers are on base. Let's see if he remembers to do that. Panzer IV misses. It has got 7 kills though, so not too shabby. Vet 3 combat engineers. Better accuracy. Can repair with no penalty to its own received accuracy, and of course gets an excellent repair time. VonIvan somehow still in this. 154 victory points and dropping, yes. But vanilla Volksgrenadiers currently neutralising that central VP. Fallschirmjägers feeling the pain. His own machine gun pushes in. He needs 630 manpower for that KV2, and that's almost certainly what he's after. T70 doing a lot of work there in the centre, as are the SVT rifles. Nice blocking by the Panzer IV. Meanwhile, on the western side, Maxim pushed away. Fallschirmjägers may be able to get that victory point now. VonIvan has continued to fall. T70's dropping. But it's getting combat field repaired. SturmtigerGadafi somehow have remained alive all this time. They've got a bevy of veterancy abilities now. On CoH2.org, the portal piece currently is, of course, a veterancy guide on every single veterancy ability in the game. So feel free to play along with the stars you can see. That's me saying I can't remember what Vet 4 does for SturmtigerGadafi. Nice bit of salvaging there for the Fudge Grenadiers. VonIvan needs the fuel, as the KV2 will be coming out very soon indeed. So the full resource is to allocate right now. It's got to be what he's going for, certainly. He's just playing with his food seemingly right now. But here comes the Stalin hammer. The Kliment Voroshilov heavy assault tank is on the battlefield. Basically a howitzer in a tank. Detonate me, it used to say in Company Heroes 1, but it just says detonate in Code 2. Which I think is representative of a lot of the character the sequel lacks compared to the... Oh, nice self-mine there. Will the Panzer IV be able to finish him off? Hits his own mine, very close to that demo charge, of course. KV2 comes into the field. Oh, a lot of damage done. A little bit of friendly fire perhaps added in with the Panzer IV shot. Oh, dear. Goes on hold fire because he wants to attack around every single shot. Panzer IV trying to push and reverse behind the building. KV2 reverses after it. Oh, this is crazy. Yes, damaged engine in. A bounce shot, frontal armor from the Panzer IV. This is fantastic for VonIvan. And the stolen M42's doing a good amount of damage to the rear armor whilst it was there. Look at this demo charge, though. That's going to be brutal. Keep an eye on that Panzer IV as a Roman candle. One squad goes down to the demo. KV2 remains on the battlefield. T70 pushes in. M42's now been stolen. Could this be the death of the Sturm Pioneers? They're blocked temporarily. Second M42 pushes in. T70 pushes behind it. KV2 looks like it'll survive. Got to keep so much in our field of view right now because it's all going down. Oh, M42 taken down by Kimbo. KV2 survives. Hero Jagdpanzer perhaps needs to get very active very quickly indeed. Sturm Pioneers. Fallschirmjägers. There's no Volksgrenadiers left to speak of. He satchels the M42, destroys it very quickly indeed. Oh, but look at the repair times. He's getting there. Come on, Jagdpanzer. Keep this game alive. 85 victory points remaining for VonIvan as the Jagdpanzer. Does it get a shot off to keep it with its damaged engine? It actually suffers health damage. Bounces a shot. That is very unfortunate for VonIvan. And there you go. The damaged engine bounces another shot. Jagdpanzer does nothing. And Kimbo looks likely to have won the game. Crazy ending at the end there for certain. But a good effort, must be said. I mean, I know I already said this game was over once, but it certainly looks over now. MG34 can't finish off the Sturm Pioneers, who are still alive. Veterancy 5, pretty cool. Meanwhile, by the way, Shock Troopers in a battle against this MG34, keeping VonIvan in the game on victory points. Oh dear, KV2 does not fear the Jagdpanzer at all. Finally penetrates a shot. It's taken so long. Pushes in, but the M42 now waits for it. Jagdpanzer's going to go for this. He wants it. He needs 2 big penetrations. Probably not going to get it though, let's face it. Keeps bouncing. Meanwhile, Shock Troopers just ignore the MG. Force it back to base. Needs to get the health benefits of the squad that triggered the medical supplies. But it's all for nothing. VonIvan has definitely lost this game for certain. As Kimbo, respecting his opponent, goes for the last of the 3 victory points. and looks set to seal the deal. T-34 building more smoke reconnaissance, comes down just to try and get VonIvan on this central circle. But Vet 3 Penal Battalion's wait, and their Veteran 2 comrades anticipate a glorious Soviet victory for the Polish-born player, Kimbo Mad Slice. Kimbo Mad Slice. Yeah, Panzer could go down. Nah, we'll be fine. I just feel that if VonIvan had kept more of his things alive, this may have gone differently. And yes, that is meant to be an ironic statement. Meant to be a parody of common sentimentalities. Having watched VonIvan for many years as the Fallschirmjägers die. More Fallschirmjägers come down to take the victory point. A little bit of mischief from VonIvan to stay in this. Out of control T-70 goes down with first a whimper and then an almighty bang. Victory point was taken there. We got a mine on the retreat. Damages the engine on the T-34. More mines been planted by Kimbo. 14 victory points and dropping. Rakettenwerfer, oh my god, versus KV2. That won't end well. That won't end well at all. Let's get on board. Ah! The coaxial gunner did the job, it seems. Is it coaxial? Or is it just a hull gunner? It's just a hull gunner, but it's a very, very accurate one, it seems. On the left side of the hull, which isn't the most common position. Sturmtiger is the only surviving remnant of VonIvan's original army, as we now see the game draw to a close. As an added aside, let us look through the patch notes very quickly. This won't be an in-depth thing. This will just add suspense to the video. Just give it a little bit of that tightrope stuff. If you ever wondering why I don't do the tightrope thing of like downloading the video or whatever and like rendering it for hours and hours and hours, so it's got like 20 minutes of freeze frame at the end of it, it's because I can't be bothered, and that takes way too long. To be quite frank, it's yeah, I like to just record it, then upload it. I don't like to record it, then put it in Sony Vegas, and then edit it, and then render it for hours and hours. But, you know, credit to Tightrope, puts most hours into this hobby, way more than, as the YouTube thing goes, way more than I have done on YouTube, but then again, I've put most of my efforts into organising big tournaments and such, so, you know, all's fair and loving. You can tell that I've got, like, a very nice, pleasurable respect for Tightrope, and he's one of those people, I'm a very competitive person, I like to gauge myself off his output and think, am I equal to such a legend that makes rap videos? And I would have to say, in 2020, no. That guy is a beast right now. Don't know why I've made this huge tangent, but I certainly have done just that. Did have the patch notes up, and then I was like, are these really the patch notes? And then, of course they are. Of course they are. Does that bring them up on my screen? And certainly does. So let's go to the top. Aha, here we go. So, heavy tanks, you've seen this. I'm really intrigued by this, though. I mean, standardised to 3 minutes once you've killed one, so you get 3 minutes, great. Having killed a heavy tank, is that enough? Maybe make it 5 minutes? I think it's a good idea. Let's see how it goes. All the heavy tanks are now 11 CPs, which is definitely better than 9. So I'm certainly ready to see how that goes. Not sure about the IS-2 change. People claim that standardization of its AoE profile made it too good. I'm not so sure. Pershing, that should spice things up for the USF matchups, because of course it now might we see more than, you know, just heavy cav and airborne all the time. The infantry section changes, the moving accuracy. I mean, yeah, that'll mean, well, it'll mean you get a bit more blobs, by the way. I mean, whenever you change moving accuracy, you do know that makes the blobbing more of a thing. But still, you know, because I do remember Tommy Blobs being a thing, right? Bolster, Tommy Blobs were a thing at one point. in 2018 or 19 rather, early 19 I think, before the nerf, and now they're rebuffing. So I mean, Brits aren't played in 1v1 top level right now, so I'm all up for it. The assault infantry changes look interesting for certain, and to be honest, I haven't gone through all of the Brit shit and understood it. I do know that yeah, I would agree that that was unnecessary. The reload cover bonus always seemed a little bit odd. So yeah, having a 7th man at the cost of munitions, that's pretty much what it is now. No reload cover bonus. Airborne guards certainly weren't used enough, so I'm happy for that. That makes sense. I think FMR was always a little bit OP if you remember to use it properly and correctly. I mean, it's not the most overpowered thing ever. It's just a slight nerf there. That's good. I think anything to make base set to healing easier should be better. I really want to see some OKW changes in that regard, though. Cluster bombs are annoying as fuck, so happy to see them fucked around with. Yep, I think that was a little bit too kind of bullshitty than what you got for it, so that seems like a decent tweak. I'm glad to see they still put tweaks like that in. That seems pretty predictory in terms of where the meta could be, and I like that. It shows good game knowledge for me from the balanced designers. There you go. There's the change I want to see. Bigger change for that for me would be to make the squads retreat to different points on the headquarters alternatingly, because what happens with OKW is they end up always retreating to the same point on the headquarters, and all the squads get jammed up more so than other factions. It seems I'm probably chatting out my ass there, but it definitely seems that way. Must be some kind of reason for it. And yeah, there's a few thoughts on the balance. I mean, I'll also show you the stats, but it's just interesting to kind of add a little bit of fluff to the end of the video. Give it that kind of suspense, disbelief in what you're watching. Let's have a look at the old Statarinos right now, and then I'll go to beddy bye-byes and upload this video overnight. Give myself something to do in the morning with my coffee and my fruit and fibre. Yeah, KD ended up blah, 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 blah. Kimbo's best unit was the M42. Yeah, you could probably say that, I guess. VonIvan, really don't believe it was his Folks Grenadiers. He lost 6 Folks Grenadier squads in that game. Count them, 6 squads. 2 Fallschirmjägers. That preservation is crazy. I mean, Kimbo, meanwhile, only lost 1 penal battalion all game long. And, yeah. VonIvan did get back into things, lost everything, got back into it again, lost it all again. It's a cracking game. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for listening to these end of video ramblings. Hope you have a pleasant week, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.